Yes, it's a very good question, because it's true that today in Europe we feel a bit we lack capacity to do things these days, and so indeed, how to build a common security and trade area between EU and Russia. My first reaction would be to say it depends on first our capacity, our internal capacity in Europe to indeed double the security strategy of NATO and start really building this defense and security, common defense and security system. But I'm afraid it's not the right time now for Europe to be capable to do that. And indeed, then we could consider that, again, let's use this crisis and maybe let's try to, because Alexander Zevich said that it belongs to the Ukrainians to solve the crisis. It's true. I think it's true in a way, but I think also if we could put to the same table the Russians and the Europeans and the pro-Russian, so to say, Ukrainians and the pro-West Ukrainians at the same table, four groups of people, and then discuss the solutions. We have here the lead, I think, for a solution in Ukraine. And on this basis, we can start building a new Euro-Russian relation. Already, it could be seen as the first step towards indeed what Harald suggests, which is dealing with this area of the former Soviet republics in an agreed framework between Europe and Russia. And maybe in this context, based on this first step, maybe we could start talking indeed about the Georgia EU-Russia agreement, and then start also maybe discussing security issues and the NATO and the role of NATO and the presence of NATO all over the frontier, which is disrupting, of course, our relations. So maybe this could be a leader. It's also, because let's be pragmatic and realistic. 2 months ago, it wasn't sure that we could go in this direction as the U.S. were all over the place. I sense now that the U.S. are a little more remote and that we have now a space, a breathing space, in order to impose this kind of solution of solving the Ukrainian crisis only with the Russians and the Europeans, which are the only relevant co-players to contribute to solve this crisis.